Robyn Michele Levy is a visual artist, broadcaster, and writer who has dabbled in stand-up comedy and slam poetry. A few years ago, much to her surprise, she was diagnosed with 2 life-altering illnesses which forced her to dig deep, cry a bit, laugh a lot, and write a compelling memoir laced with funny, sad, and insightful observations on her life so far. She calls her funny, sad, and slightly risque memoir Most of Me. It is my pleasure to welcome all of Robyn Michele Levy to Studio 4 to tell us more.
Hi.
I can't tell you how much I enjoyed this, although I probably shouldn't have enjoyed so much of it, but I enjoyed every single bit.
I know, people feel guilty.
I know. Dare we laugh?
I know. Thank you for having such a miserable experience.
Mm-hmm. And when you're dealt these cards.
Yes, I had.
Wow.
Well, I was diagnosed first with Parkinson's, early onset, at age 43, and then 8 months later I was diagnosed with breast cancer.
What were the symptoms? How did you know that you might have Parkinson's? You probably didn't even think Parkinson's.
No, you don't think of that. It's not the first thing that comes to mind. I had symptoms, things like I was slowing down, my body was slowing down, my left arm wasn't swinging, I was, dropping things, tripping. My thinking just wasn't clear, and I was really depressed.
And tired.
And tired. Oh my gosh, I would sleep on weekends, work as much as I could during the week, and then just go home and crash.
So off to the doctor you went.
Numerous times.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was a bit of a conundrum, and finally my doctor said maybe you should see a neurologist, and then I was diagnosed, or they thought I had it.
And you got another opinion?
Another opinion from an expert who said, yes, you do have it.
And when you said to the doctor, could I have another disease? Maybe not Parkinson's.
And he said, why would you want another disease? There's...
Or a worse disease.
They're worse than this.
Really?
Yeah, there's worse. I didn't ask for details, but I just took his, word on faith.
Do you remember much of what really went on in that room when he talked to you about it, or she talked to you about it?
I do. That time is very vivid. It feels like things were just stamped in my brain, because when you're told that you have this neurodegenerative disease, it's something that you remember very clearly.
Mm-hmm. And your father was diagnosed earlier.
He was. He was diagnosed just about a half a year before me. And even though we had similar symptoms, I had just, it never even dawned on me that it's possible that I would be experiencing the same disease that he had.
And way too young.
Yep.
I say too. Not being the neurologist.
Yeah, no, although I'm not the youngest, I've heard of people that are 19 and younger.
Do they give you a prognosis when they give you that diagnosis, or do they say, you know what, you may live to be 92, albeit you won't be playing golf?
Well, to be honest, the prognosis, when I asked it only affected my left side in the beginning, and I said, do you think that that's how it's going to be? He goes, no, I promise it'll affect your whole body by the end. So he was very honest.
That's good, I think.
You think so?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think it's the one thing you want to hear when you're really depressed.
But you don't want them to fib.
No.
Really, about any diagnosis, do you? They used to.
I know.
Then they say, well, maybe you shouldn't mention this to your family.
Yeah, well, we did mention it to my family.
How did that go? You have a lovely daughter, Naomi, and an older husband, not that old, but a little older than you.
3 dog years older.
Yes, about 20 years
21
older.
years older. I'm still younger now than he was when I met him. So it's kind of funny. I always joke that, I was marrying an older man and that he would die before me, but I'm kind of catching up with this old age disease. Yeah,
and did you think, I thought I would probably have to take care of you one day?
Yeah, and now...
Likely.
Now he's going to be changing my diapers.
Ooh, you think?
I don't know. You never
Maybe
know.
not. Maybe he'll hire someone. The humor you use in your life.
Yes.
Has it always been with you?
Yes, always. I grew up in a household where humor was definitely on the dark side, and both my parents have a good sense of humor.
It's essential.
It has helped me enormously. I don't think everybody appreciates it all the time, but it has come in handy.
Well, I want you don't know this yet, but I want you to write my obit.
Do you?
Yes, because I love the one you wrote. And you wrote a couple in here.
Yes, for myself.
For yourself. And the one about you falling down.
Dying with my face in my cornflakes, leaving behind a kiwi.
Yes, and a lovely daughter and a lovely husband.
Daughter, yeah.
And a fistful of pills.
Yes.
And in lieu of flowers.
Donation to my favorite charity, my daughter's trust fund for her soy lattes.
Why not? Or to your MasterCard.
Or to my MasterCard.
Either or. Biff Naked is with you, and I know you're friends.
Yes, she's been a great support.
And she's been through the breast cancer dance, as you know.
Yes.
So back to Parkinson's, can deal with that or will deal with that, have to deal with that.
Yes, I was just at my neurologist yesterday. So it's an ongoing experience.
You have friends, a friend. Did you know Robyn Michele, the answer lady from CBC, before you got this?
You know, before I got it, I knew her as a disembodied voice on the air with Vicky Gabbro, and I used to laugh my pants off listening to them. And then when I started working at CBC, I was assigned at one point to Bill's show, The Roundup, and Marg came in and did a workshop with some of us, and I knew her
as a broadcaster.
As a broadcaster, and I knew that looking at her, there was something different about her, that, you know, something health-wise was different, but I didn't know until later the day somebody explained that she had Parkinson's.
And now she deals with all those challenges.
Oh, she's got a lot of challenges.
A lot of challenges. Were you afraid, in a way, to go see her?
Yes, I was, but I also felt when I was diagnosed that she was the one person that could offer some advice, if anybody could, because she was diagnosed at the same age as I was, 43. She had a husband and a child, and, you know,
similar circumstances.
Yeah, similar circumstances. So we called up and asked if Bergen, my husband, and I could come for a visit, and they were very, you know, welcoming. And we went for the visit there shortly after my diagnosis.
And she is the answer lady.
She is the answer lady, and boy, this is at the time I had just been diagnosed with the first neurologist. And I said from the outset, you know, I'm here to get some support, but I still don't 100% believe I have Parkinson's, and that's why I'm going to a specialist. And she looked at me and she just said, "You got it."
You got it, girl.
You got it. She was the answer lady. She knew.
I know, and she's always been a bit blunt.
She has
and
been.
Funny,
yeah.
And all of that. Now the breast cancer thing, what
Yes.
the heck?
Well, it just came out of the blue. I found these 2 lumps one summer morning, and it was just this whirlwind of, you know, like, deal with it. There was no time to even process. I just, from the time I found out with the biopsy to the time I had my breast removed, it was 3 weeks.
That was fast.
It was very fast. And in fact, it was kind of a bit of a holiday from Parkinson's.
Did you have a choice? A holiday from Parkinson's, great.
Yeah.
Did you have a choice to remove the breast, not to remove the breast, or did they say pretty much if you want to live?
Yeah, there was really no choice. And, you know, I just thought, well, I'd rather live than worry about, you know, something on my body and that's going to possibly kill me at some point.
Sure. I always think about text language, WTF.
Yes.
I'm sure, or the anger part. Why me? Did you go through that? Like, why me? Poor me. I have this beautiful daughter. I have a lovely husband. I have a great life. I'm creative. I'm an artist.
Yeah.
Why me?
I don't go into self-pity mode like that. I didn't have questions like, why me? I would never wish this on anybody. So it's not that kind of an experience for me.
Right. And what do you make of people who say, you know, it's really a gift?
Oh, well, that I just want to, you know, wrap it up and toss it in the somewhere. I don't know.
Yeah, baloney.
Yeah, it's not a gift.
Nobody needs that gift.
No, it's not a gift.
It's life-changing.
Yeah, no, and also the same thing goes for when people say, oh, you must have done something, you know, to bring it on. And it's like, well,
oh, right.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Maybe if you were more positive.
Yeah, because I've eaten really well. I don't smoke or drink and all that kind of stuff. And so I don't buy that.
Right.
That's not helpful.
No, I totally agree with you. I know there was I think it was at the Framingham or one of those institutes in Texas once,
Yeah.
that they said, if you say you caused it, the cancer or the Parkinson's, then you can take control of it and deal with it. I thought, no, not going there, just not going there. Most of me, Robyn Michele Levy, surviving my medical meltdown, and she is surviving, and we'll come back and talk more after this.